Hello and welcome, Solo Guy here. It's been a while since I did a check it out, or an unboxing if you will. Anyways, normally you'd see me with miniatures. I'm not doing miniatures today, but before you turn it off, do give this a consideration. This is a starter kit for Advanced Squad Leader. Long story short, in 1977, Avalon Hill Game Company published a cardboard counter hex map board game called Squad Leader. It was designed by John Hill with involvement from Don Greenwood and others, and through the years there were expansions that covered World War II infantry combat, which started originally from 42 to 45, but then it later expanded. And with that, the rules changed, and they changed again as there were other expansions. In 1985, Avalon Hill released Advanced Squad Leader. When Avalon Hill closed its doors, I forgot which year it was, the group Multi-Man Publishing got together, apparently bought the rights, and they started to create a series of starter kits to ease people into the very detailed world of Squad Leader. So today what I want to show you is this, the starter kit number 1. You don't need to have any previous experience to play this game, okay? And it will take you through, basically, I would call it programmed instruction. Now, when you look on the back, it gives you an idea of what the color maps look like, okay? And gives you an idea what the pieces look like. They range from single-man pieces representing leaders, heroes, to multi-man counters, which would represent squads or half squads of infantry, okay, or crew teams if they're operating like an anti-tank gun or whatever. But this is focusing only on infantry, machine guns, flamethrowers, demolition charges, and that's it. That's all you get for this. The price is pretty reasonable. Now, of course, the question is, hey, how do I go and open this up? And let's see what we got on the inside. Well, first thing you get is a green paper that's basically thanking you for buying this, and it also gives you what the starter kit should contain: a box and a lid, 2 8x22 maps, Y and Z, a counter sheet, 1 rulebook, 3 scenario cards, double-sided, 1 quick reference data card, 2 dice, and that's it. And they give you ways that you can communicate with them. There is a very active Facebook page specifically dealing with the Squad Leader starter kit. So let's take a quick look here at the rules, okay? And the rules itself, again, it is 3-column, but you also have the colors of the maps, the counters. It also goes into detail about the terms that are used in the game, okay? It also gives you very detailed examples of play. How does that work? Okay? And you can go through step by step. Now, on the net, there are a number of resources out there. There are many YouTube videos out there showing you guys how to play the game. Okay? So it's just going through 3-column. It looks intimidating, but do understand there are a lot of illustrations, a lot of examples, okay? And if you like this game, if it appeals to you, okay, there are other expansion kits that you could get. There are. So you can see at the end here, it concludes with support weapons. And then, of course, on the back, it tells you what the squad composition looks like, how it breaks into half squads. Okay, for the different nationalities, you get 3 nationalities here: the Germans, the Russians, and the Americans. And this is meant to be as an unboxing review and check it out, but the rulebook itself is about 12 pages long, which isn't too bad. Now, these are the scenario cards. Okay? And one of the things about the scenario cards, it's based off of a real battle that took place. It gives you the background. It'll tell you what board you're using, what part of the board you're using. It gives you the victory conditions as well. It also includes a balance. If you're finding in your experience that the scenario is unbalanced, they give you suggestions for it. They also tell you the unit that's involved, okay, as well as the nationality, the number of counters that you would need, and where are they setting up, where are they entering. It's fairly detailed. Now for this one here, ASL Scenario 1, this is called Retaking Vierville, or Vieille, okay? Ville, I should say Vierville en français. And you also have an aftermath, okay? And yeah, here's reality. Not all fights are going to be equal points or equal sides. There are days it's going to be sided, one side to the other. You look on the back here. So this first one here, you're looking at June 7th, 1944 in Normandy, as the paratroopers try to retake a town that had been previously taken from the Germans, and of course the Germans won it back for some crazy reason. In the second one here, it takes you to the Russian front in one of the places, anyone who's familiar with the Russian front, Stalingrad, the War of the Rats. And this is another scenario, except this time here, they add a few little extra things like support weapons, whereas the first scenario is just squads and leaders, and that's it. Looking at scenario 3, this is looking in Germany in October 1944, Aachen, Germany, called Simple Equation. Again, the turns aren't that many. Okay, looking at scenario 4, Welcome Back. Okay, I played this one against another opponent. I was an absolute noob, and I got schooled like an absolute noob on both sides. And of course, it's important to read those victory conditions. But this fight takes place over in Hosingen, Luxembourg in December 1944, which you guys would know as Battle of the Bulge. Okay. Then here we have clearing Colville, I should say. And again, this is another scenario dealing with Americans versus Germans. You're using the entire board for it. And then here, Released from the East, this is another Russian front scenario. This is looking early in the war, December of 41. Moscow's in danger of falling, and these represent Siberian troops, I believe, going up against the 2nd SS Division, the Das Reich. So you got a smattering of different parts of the war, which is really cool. Now, you also get a quick reference card. It is double-sided, as you guys can see. So here are your combat tables. Okay, close combat, IFT, DR, infantry fire table, dice roll modifier, and you know the reality is once you get into it. The more you get into it, the more it becomes second nature, like driving or playing a guitar. Sequence of play is there as well. And then on the back, it gives you your terrain effects chart. How much does it cost to carry a support weapon? How much movement you have with or without a leader. Leader creation, there's always that possibility. Your counter exhausted, so if you guys decide to double time your guys, what are the consequences? What's the good and what's the bad? And then here, looking at the pieces here, as far as what do the numbers, what do the symbols mean? Very clear, very plain. And then, of course, we get maps. Okay. So this one is board Y. Okay, and it's a card stock It's a cardstock map. I grew up with the hard-mounted maps, but this is a cardstock map of board Y, and you have a number of terrain here. You have the gray blobs. The gray blocks are stone buildings. The brown blocks are wooden buildings. You have roads. You have orchards. You have wheat fields as well. You also have woods. So, yeah, quite a bit there. So, looking at Y, when you look at Z, now Z's got more gray buildings, more of those stone buildings all over. This looks more like a larger town, a small city, if you will. But again, here you got some orchards, but you got a lot of stone buildings. And then, of course, the roads. And if you look at the difference between the roads here and on this previous map, you notice, hey, the colors are different. That's because these roads are paved and these are country roads. I also want to point out that these maps are geomorphic in that you can fit them together and you can do different combinations. So you can fit them side by side like this, or you could also fit it like this as well. Okay? So those are nice little pluses to have. Now, of course, it mentioned about one counter sheet. Ha! Okay. Well, when I went to play about a week or so ago, I ended up taking my counter sheet and opening them, taking out the pieces, and I was introduced to a storage system I thought was really, really awesome. And that I would have to talk about another time in another video. But I was able to take all the informational counters that I need here. So I stored the Germans, the leaders, the multi-man counters, the squad types. I've got the Russians in here. And I still got some empty spaces here as well. On this one here, as you guys can see, you do get 2 dice, the red and the white. The other 2 I added in there if you're rolling to randomly determine a stack, and let's say there's more than 2 units in a stack. Okay, but all the informational counters you're able to put in there as well. So with that, these fit quite easily. These here. So that's it. Looking at the Advanced Squad Leader Starter Kit number 1, everything is self-contained. You don't need to buy anything else, which is really awesome. And I'm able to put these in here and close it back up. And really, if it doesn't appeal to you, you can always turn around and sell it. Somebody will buy these. Okay, they are very reasonable for the price. This is emphasizing on infantry with support weapons like machine guns and demolition charges and flamethrowers. That's it. The next one, the next set, starter kit number 2, and I think I should do a video on that. It goes where you have ordnance, where you have mortars, bazookas, Panzerschrecks, okay? But you don't have to buy this to buy the other kit. That's the cool part. All right, I hope this benefited you guys, and with that, you guys take care, God bless you, and have a good day.